Hi everyone, this is Priyanka working as Assistant Professor in SNS College of Engineering. Today in my lecture series, we are just going to see about security services which comes under the OSI security architecture. It comes under the subject that cryptography and cyber security. Now let's see, just we can recall that we have seen this in our last lecture series, that is classification of OSI security architecture. It mainly includes security attack, security mechanism, security service. Now we are just going to see in detail about the security services. Here the definition of 800 as a service provided by a protocol layer of communicating open systems and that assures adequate security of the systems out of data transfers. Next, it is defined by RFC 4949 as a processing of communication service provided by a system to give a specific kind of protection to system resources. Next, coming to the service categories. Service categories, it mainly consists of authentication, access control, data confidentiality, data integrity, non-repudiation. Last class I have said this in general OSI. When we have seen this OSI security architecture, now we are just going to see in detail about all these services. First is authentication. Authentication concerned with assuring that communication is authentic. That is, in case of a single message, assures the recipient that the message is from the source that it claims to be from. In the case of ongoing interaction, assures that two entities are authentic and that the connection is not interfered with in such a way that the third party can masquerade as one of the two legitimate parties. That is here two specific authentication services that are defined in Expo 800 is peer entity authentication and data origin authentication. Next, coming to access control. In the case of access control, here the ability to limit and control the access to host systems and applications through communications. Look, as we have seen access control in our service mechanism itself. Here, to achieve this, each entity trying to gain the access must first be identified and or authenticated so that access rights can be trailed to the individual. For this, I have said the examples of in our institution or in any institution, the access of this here in college. Let us take in college. The access for the students will be limited, whereas the faculties will be next, and then for the admin it will be the next. The students can't get into the faculties login, whereas faculties they can get into the admins, that is overall college admin. So whatever your resources are required, within that access you need to access your resources. Then comes the data confidentiality. Here the data confidentiality is the protection of transmitted data from passive attacks. It is a data confidentiality, that is broadest service protects all user data transmitted between two users over a period of time. Narrower forms of service includes the protection of a single message or even specific field within a message. Next, the protection of traffic flow from analysis. This requires the attacker not be able to observe their resource and destination, frequency, length, or other characteristics of the traffic on communications facility. Here next comes the data integrity. Data integrity, it can apply to a stream of message, a single message or selected fields within a message. Next, connection oriented integration services, that one that deals with a stream of messages that assures that message or received as sent with no duplication, then insertion, modification, or reordering or replace. Then a connectionless integrity service, and that deals with the individual message without regard to any larger context generally provides protection against message modification only. Next comes the non-repudiation. Non-repudiation in the sense it prevents either sender or receiver from denying a transmitted message. So, okay, that is called as non-repudiation. When a message is sent, the receiver can prove that the alleged sender in fact sends the message. When a message is received, the sender can prove that the alleged receiver in the fact receives the message. Suppose let us consider an example a transaction. Okay, in bank transaction, we're just sending money. A person A sends a message money to the person B. That case, person A can't tell that I have not sent the money, whereas everything, each and everything is recorded. We can't. There will be a proof in the sense, okay, so that we can't deny that A did not send message to B can't tell that I have not received a message from B. All these comes under this non-repudiation. Thank you. This is the books which I have been referred for my lecture series.